12 dinosaur facts you wouldn't believe. Long before us, dinosaurs were the inhabitants of our planet Earth. Many don't know that this species was around for almost 200 million years. Even though modern science knows pretty much about dinosaurs, there are some facts about dinosaurs that are not so known among common folk. So here are 12 dinosaur facts you simply will be surprised by. Number 1. Who discovered them? Do you know the name of who we can thank for all the dinosaur knowledge? The man responsible for it was William Buckland, a geology professor at Oxford University. He started digging up some fossils back in 1819. However, the ultimate discovery occurred in 1824. The fossil discovered in 1824 was a megalosaurus. The discovery marked the beginning of fossil discoveries that changed the way we perceive the world before humans. Number 2. Fluffy dinosaurs. Sure, the first thing that comes to our mind when we think about dinosaurs is thick and scaly skin, similar to today's crocodiles. What many people don't know is that some species of dinosaurs had something we can call proto-feathers. That doesn't mean these were the only species who had wings. In fact, we can see that some flightless species like Biopolosaurus had feathers. Imagine having a small reptile pet with features. Sounds cool, doesn't it? Number 3. They weren't the first reptiles to rule the Earth. According to scientists, the period when dinosaurs evolved was about 200 million years ago. It makes perfect sense to say that this is pretty hard to determine, right? However, the official science managed to prove that there were reptiles who inhabited planet Earth before dinosaurs. The species that ruled the planet before them are now known as archosaurs, theropods, and pelycosaurs. After a couple of dozen millions of years, these species came to extinction and our favorite reptiles came to be. Number 4. Birds are dinosaurs? Dr. Mark Norell, chairman of the American Museum of Natural History, released an official statement where he explained that today's birds are close relatives to dinosaurs. However, this is not all the famous scientist had to say. Furthermore, he explained that today's birds are more related to T-Rex and similar ones than to Mammochosaurus and sauropods. Number 5. Meat eaters were rare. Even though species like Spinosaurus and T-Rex are two most common ones that come to mind when we're talking about these giant reptiles, it needs to be said that they were a minority. In fact, out of about 1,000 unique species, the number of plant eaters was pretty dominant. However, they don't look so fierce as classic predators. Therefore, they are not as interesting as them for the public. Number 6. Their growth was quick. What many people don't know is that dinosaurs grew relatively quickly. This shouldn't come as a surprise if we know that they are distant relatives of today's reptiles who have the same characteristic. For example, species called Mammochosaurus, which is a huge 70-foot reptile with a huge neck. What's interesting to know is that its neck was roughly 50% of its total size. This species needed around 30 years to reach this size. Number 7. Two main factions. We are absolutely sure that a high percentage of people would think that the two main branches of dinosaurs are plant eaters and meat eaters. Even though there is some truth to this theory, this is not entirely true. Instead, scientists have presented us with a completely different categorization. They talked about Ornithischian, a species of bird-hipped dinos, and Sarcachon, lizard-hipped dinos. Number 8. Dinosaurs came in all shapes and sizes. In museums around the world, you will have the opportunity to take a look at huge dinosaur skeletons. Many people make the mistake by thinking that all of them were large and heavy. However, according to the newest findings, we can see that there were, in fact, species that we can categorize as dinosaur birds. That doesn't mean they looked exactly like today's birds. In fact, they look similar to today's pigeons or bats, but with a more reptile look. At the same time, it has been proven that not all of the dinosaurs who could fly were large. Number 9. Marine reptiles weren't dinosaurs. Maybe it sounds strange, but the scientific term dinosaur refers only to those reptiles who were Saurischian and Ornithischian. This means that water or marine reptiles are not recognized as dinosaurs. The science stands strong on this claim even though we can see that some of the species of marine reptiles were close relatives with other types of reptiles who lived on the surface. What's even more impressive is that some of these marine reptiles are actually much older than dinosaurs in terms of species. Number 10. They were dummies. When it comes to the intelligence of dinosaurs, it's widely believed that the official science community doesn't have solid evidence for each theory. However, it's completely the opposite. according to experts in this field, they weren't too intelligent. Naturally, intelligence differs from species to species. Also, species considered to be the smartest in their time had the intelligence similar to ostrich, so we can definitely agree that they weren't too intelligent. Number 11. Stegosaurus plates weren't part of the skeleton. One of the best-known dinosaur species, Stegosaurus, had plates that looked like they emerged from its spine. However, recent findings proved that they weren't part of its skeleton. Instead, they grew out of their skin. At the same time, the scientists managed to prove that they were one of the largest species of dinosaurs that ever walked the earth. However, their brain was as big as the dog's brain. Number 12. Not all of them got extinct at the same time. According to the official science opinion, the occurrence that led to the extinction of dinosaurs was the meteor impact. Moreover, it has been proved that it happened about 65 million years ago. The meteor impacted the Yucatan Peninsula. This period didn't occur as we see in movies where a giant ball of fire devours all of the species on the planet. Instead, this process lasted for a couple of thousands of years. There were a couple of elements that led to their extinction, like lack of sunlight, skyrocketing temperatures, and lack of vegetation. Those are the 12 most interesting facts about dinosaurs.